Hello everyone, my name is Nate, this is Throttle Only. Today I'm going to be reviewing a 2019 BMW Z4 sdrive 30i. Let's go. So the Z4 that I have today is shown in Alpine White. This specific configuration is actually the base model. The base model is a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. It pushes out 255 horsepower. It goes 0 to 60 in 5.2 seconds. They also have a different version, that is the M version. The M version of this car is called the Z4M40i. It has a twin turbocharged 6-cylinder engine, has 382 horsepower, and goes 0 to 60 in about 4.4 seconds. So this model here, looking at the front fascia, has the BMW logo here in the center. Nice tail lights off to the side here. Pretty signature for BMW, except that they're stacked. They do extend to the side of the vehicle, which I think is probably my favorite feature. When you go more into the center of the vehicle, nice design grille here. I think it would look better in black, but it doesn't look too bad like this. As we extend lower down to the vehicle, we have kind of a fake splitter here in the front. Extends just a little bit. We also have some interesting venting here on the side. As you can see, some of it does go through. Helps with aero efficiency. As we move on to the side of the vehicle here, we'll look at the wheels and the tires. I don't mind these wheels, but I think they'd look better in black. The tires up front are 225. And in the rear, we have 255. From this angle, you can tell that the car has really nice body lines, especially in this light. There's venting behind the front wheels there, and it is functional. Again, really nice body line that comes all the way down the length of the vehicle. We also have power folding mirrors with LED turn signals. Turn on here. Obviously, this is a convertible coupe. I do have the top down right now. Moving back towards the rear of the vehicle, looking at the taillights. The taillights extend to the side of the vehicle as well, kind of similar to those front headlights. I really like that look. There's an LED brake light there in the center, and then below that we have the BMW logo, of course, and then some badging. sdrive 30i, Z4. Below that, we have some gloss black where a diffuser could be. And then we have the single exhaust tips there as well. And one single LED white reverse light. I'll go ahead and pop the trunk to show you how much room there is. So I just have a camera bag in there right now, pretty spacious. There is a pretty cool pass-through as well that will extend to the very front of the vehicle, which I'll show you right now. And there is the pass-through here. Adds a little bit more room. All right. Very interesting way that the trunk extends open. just this top half here that opens. You can also see now that I have the lights on. So your turn signals will look like this in the 2019 model. I believe in the 2023 models, they're stacked now. So I mentioned earlier, this is the base model. The base model, if you were to get one in 2023, will set you back about $53,000, starting with no options or anything like that, right off of BMW's website. They also have a bunch of different colors as well. Probably my favorite color is the Thunder Night Metallic, which is essentially just a purple color, but it looks very good. All right, before I move into the exhaust, I want to show you what this engine looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and pop the hood and show you that. So to do that, you open the doors here, and there's a lever down below here. It tells you to pop it 2 times. 1, 2. Let's do it 3 times just in case. You'll notice the hood opens a little bit weird on this as well. There's some lines here where it's going to extend open, so let's go ahead and show you. And then there is our twin turbo 4-cylinder engine. And like I said, the hood opens pretty far back. Pretty interesting styling there. All right, let's see what this thing sounds like. Okay, so since this is a convertible, let's see how long it takes to raise the roof. So when the roof is raised, you get a nice notification, a nice chime, and then same thing when you lower it. So all of the Z4 models, even the M40i, is only going to have a soft top. They no longer do hard tops. Okay, let's take a look at the interior. So right off the bat, since this is the coupe model, however you want to say it, the doors are pretty long. Go ahead and open that here. If you want to lock and unlock the car, you can do that from the handle. You would just push on the inside here and then tap here to open it. So looking at the inside of the door panels, pretty standard. None of this is really soft touch, not even down here where you put your arm. It does use Harman Kardon sound system, which sounds honestly really good. Tweeters down there. Standard unlock and lock controls here. You also have some presets for your seat if you would like. Auto up and down windows, and then you can also adjust your mirrors there if you would like. Down below here, you have a little bit of space, as well as the trunk open button. And then looking more inside, you have the BMW logo down here on the sill. Looking at the seats, you have thigh extension. That is manual. Automatic seat controls, forward, reverse, back. Also some lumbar. The seats are nice. They're made in leather. You also have these interesting holes in the center here. Not quite sure what those are for, but there are speakers behind the seats as well as some storage. So perhaps the reason for the holes are maybe you can hear music better. Take a look at the storage here. Small net, you can fit some items behind there. decently spacious interior. So looking at the left side of the steering wheel here, you have your light controls. You want auto lights. These lights here on the center are if you're parked on a street, you can push those and it will only illuminate one side of the vehicle. Kind of lets passengers, or excuse me, lets motorists know that you are potentially in your vehicle and so you don't get hit. Also some paddle shifters there, very small. Really easy controls. On the left side, you have cruise control. On the right, you have menus and volume control. And then a little bit further down, you have a heated steering wheel you can use on those cold days. And then looking at the center console here, pushing this button here will open up the console. And then looking down, as I open up that console here. So there is cup holders, 2 cup holders, and a small amount of storage space on there. So you can actually place cup holders, you can actually place cups here and close this side on the driver's side and still rest your arm, which is pretty nice. I'm looking on the center here. You have your parking brake, no lever. This is how you would adjust your convertible top. There are different drive modes, your Eco, Pro, your Comfort, your Sport. It does have a manual mode too, where you can shift this lever to the left and you can actually shift there if you don't want to use the paddle shifters. You have your on and off button for the engine, your traction off, and then your tactile buttons here. So going over this front center screen here, it's pretty cool. There are a few different interesting features here. So on the bottom, there are presets. You can preset them to pretty much anything you'd like to customize your vehicle. So the problem with the presets though is sometimes you might not know exactly what is associated with that preset. So what BMW has done is you can slightly gloss your finger over here, and if you look at the very top of the screen, you can see exactly what the preset is used for. A lot of these are not assigned. That's pretty awesome. So you also have your controls here for your climate control. A nice display there in the center. Very easy to use. It's nice that they're not in the menu, even though BMW's menu is super easy to use. If you want to use this screen, you can use either your finger, or you can use this nice rotary dial here on the bottom, which gives you a nice tactile kind of click when you move it. And it feels great when you press it as well. So this is standard also with Apple CarPlay, which is extremely nice on the road. And if you were to use Apple CarPlay and primarily use your center screen here, you can also see it in the center here as well, which is very nice. Now looking in the center here, you can see that there is speed on the left side, an analog version, as well as the digital version as well. There is maps in the center and also notifications, your time, mileage, all that kind of stuff there. So you can also change your drive modes. You change your drive modes here on the center. It will also display here and here. So right now we're in Eco Pro, and that reflects that on both of those screens. If I put it into Comfort here, now it reflects that. You can kind of tell the engine kind of livens up a little bit, and then lastly, Sport Plus mode is there. And if I want to liven it up a little bit more, you can turn off the traction control, which is here. So at the end of the day, this still is a base model. So is this car worth it, especially if you were to buy a new one in 2023 for $53,000? So I'm going to take it out on the road and show you kind of my experiences, share some of my thoughts about it, and see if it's worth it. Let's go. Okay, so before we get started here with the drive, I wanted to mention the backup camera. The backup camera is extremely clear. Unfortunately, there's no front camera. There's only the rear cameras, but you do get radar sensing on the sides as well, and it's pretty accurate, especially when you are about to potentially hit something. When you go ahead and put the car into drive, the reverse camera will stay on for just a little bit as well, just so that you can make sure that you are not going to hit anything. So I'm going to go ahead and reverse back here, and I will reverse back kind of close to something, and you'll see that little squares pop up, and it indicates how close you are to the vehicle. Go ahead and pull away, and those squares disappear. Pretty cool. Okay, let's get into the drive. Okay, so pulling off here in a 2019 Z4 BMW sdrive 30i base model. This thing feels very smooth right off the bat, very nimble. I am 6'1", so I feel a little bit cramped here in the driver's seat. My arms are very long as well, a little cramped, but it's not, I don't think I wouldn't be able to do this on a long drive. So I'm going to take it down some back roads here and see how it does. Some of the cars that I'm used to driving, Tesla Model 3, Performance, you know, my Kia Stinger, some other vehicles that are pretty nimble and fast as well. So it'll be interesting to see how this thing does, especially since it is a lot smaller. Go ahead and put it into sport mode. Not bad. For being a base model, this really isn't too bad, especially around these corners here. Speed limit, of course. I think it's fun to drive for sure. Being a two-seater though, I don't know how practical it is, especially since everyone wants SUVs these days, especially at $53,000 as well, getting a new one. That's pretty steep, but it is fun. It does give you little crackles and pops. It'd be kind of interesting to see what this thing sounds like with a muffler delete or even some sort of Magna Flow exhaust. It's also a very under the radar type vehicle. No one really looks at you. It doesn't really look amazing from the outside. It looks like a base model. I will say though, it doesn't feel like a base model. It feels pretty good. I do have the top down, which I feel like if you're getting a convertible, why would you have the top up? But if you want, you can remove a windscreen back there. If you want more wind to come through your cabin, I have it up. I think it does its job nicely. I do have the windows up as well because otherwise the audio would probably be even worse. So taking it through these twisties, I'm going a pretty decent speed, and it doesn't feel out of control at all. This is the rear-wheel drive vehicle, and it doesn't feel like it's going to get out of control at all. It feels very planted, very stable, very fun to drive. I do think that if someone is going to go for one of these cars, they should go for the M version of this vehicle. I am someone who has been able to drive a lot of fast cars, and so I think it is maybe just a little bit slow for me for what I would like, especially being so small. I'm not really getting that that push back in my seat like I would in other cars. I'll downshift a bit here, going about 55 miles an hour. Let's put it into second gear. Second gear seems pretty low for this car. Second gear is at about 40 miles per hour. Punch it. And there's 80 right there, so not bad. It does give you a little bit of punch back, but not too much. It is pretty fun. So So I'm not sure if you heard a little ding there. There was some cars on the side of the road. It actually gave me a small ding to let me know that I was about to be in a head-on collision, which I was not. Oh, there goes a Mazda Miata. Put a few more of these twisties here. Yeah, it handles very well for being rear-wheel drive and being this small. If you do remember what I showed you in the front with the engine is pushed back a little bit towards the center of the vehicle, and that'll help with taking these corners like I am. Very, very, very little body roll. Very fun. Downshift again. See how this feels. A little bit of crackles and pops. I don't know if you can hear those on the camera. I am using a different microphone. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Alright. So my overall impressions with this vehicle, it is a nice vehicle. It does meet the standard BMW type feel. It is a luxury vehicle at the end of the day. Whether or not it's practical, that's subjective. For me, I don't think that it's practical, but I think that if you were to spend your $53,000 MSRP on a base model, I don't think that you would be disappointed. I think that you would still enjoy everything that it has to offer. There are a few things that I wish that it had, like heated and cooled seats. It only has the heated seats, but having the top down, you're going to have the top down on a nice sunny warm day, so it would be nice to have some ventilation on those seats. Other than that, I think this car is a very nice car. I would be interested to drive the M version and see what the difference is, especially because you jump up about $15,000 to $20,000. So it'd be very interesting to see. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, or you would like to see more videos like this, or maybe you just want to comment and, you know, provide some constructive criticism, more than welcome to do so. Thank you so much again. This is Throttle Only. Take care. Peace.